So how exactly should you record your presentation? So you're going to speak at an event, and you know you should record your presentation, but how exactly should you record to get the best video, the best pictures for your website? That way you can look like the top-notch speaker. So I'm going to show you exactly what I do at presentations. There's basically two types of ways, well, not two types of ways, but there's a couple types of ways that you can record your presentation. First things first is whenever you get hired, I usually do this, right? So I usually say, like, hey, are you guys going to be recording the presentation? Because they usually have a camera like this. Let's turn this a little bit. So they got like a professional camera, and it records like nice and everything. They have a professional camera. So I usually say, are you guys going to be recording the presentation? Usually they'll say, do you want us to? Or they'll say yes or something like that. If they say no, I simply say, can you? I say, can you record the presentation? And the reason is because of that professional camera. They usually have a professional camera person at the event, and they do this because, one, if it's a conference, they're usually trying to just sell people on the product itself. So they'll create like a product around the conference, all sorts of stuff. And then two, if it's a company event, they tend to record just because they want to like show it to everybody, like, here's what our award banquet look like and all that. So basically they do record the presentations. So I usually ask them to begin with. If they do that, what happens is they put that person all the way in the back of the room. So it's usually all the way in the back of the room. They're filming the entire audience in your presentation, and that's great. So if they do that, I take my camera. I simply take my camera, and and by the way, this is important. So imagine my desk right there is a stage, okay? So imagine the desk is a stage. I take my camera, and I simply put my camera right where the stage is. So it's just simply bam, right there where the stage is. It's up close, personal. That way they can actually see the people on the stage with me when I bring people on stage, or if you bring people on stage. But basically it's a close-up shot of just me on stage, or just you on stage. So that's what I do if they have a camera person there. Now, if they don't have a camera person, for some reason they're like, no, we're not going to record it. No, we hate you. We're definitely not recording your thing. You probably suck anyways. If for some reason they don't record it, I take my camera, and now I put my camera all the way in the back of the room. So my camera will go here all the way in the back. And this way I can get the entire room. It gets the entire audience. And I'm like this little speck on stage. Like you see the money sign there, I'm this little speck on stage. And so that's what I do if I only have one camera and then they're not filming anything. And from there, I also look at the room itself. If it looks better, I might put the camera in the middle. So that way I'm getting some of the audience. I'm not getting the entire audience, but I'm getting some. And at the same time, I'm getting a better look at me on stage as well. And so that's kind of what I'm doing when I'm filming. If it's possible, you want to have two cameras. So the more cameras you have, the better. You can use your phone. You can use a camera like that. You can go buy a camera like the other one or whatever. But if you have two cameras, I simply set one up all the way in the back of the room, and I set one up all the way in the front of the room. So that way I get both angles. In terms of images, I don't actually take pictures or anything. With the images, all you have to do is you simply take the footage from the camera, and you simply take screenshots from that footage. You're just like, and you just take a screenshot, and then you can use that as a picture on your website. But that's essentially what you want to do in order to film your presentations. You need to film your presentations. That way you can get the video footage, the pictures, and everything you need for your website to make you look top notch. First thing I do is I say, well, are you guys going to be filming? If they say no, I say, could you? And then if they say yes, I say, okay, film it, give me a copy, that sort of thing. And then I simply put it in the back of the room to begin with, maybe center of the room, but usually in the back if I can only get one angle. And then I simply have it up front if they're recording in the back and I need to record somewhere, I record up front. At the end of everything, I take out my phone and I simply record testimonials at this point. So if I got the camera in the front or back, wherever, at the end of my presentation, I always mention, oh, by the way, I'm gonna be hanging out and I'm gonna probably get some testimonials of you guys, so just say what you thought. And then at that point, I take out my phone, and as people come up, I say like, okay, well, what did you think? Tell me I'm the greatest in the world. Tell me I'm beautiful. Tell me my eyes look amazing. So at that point, I'm simply recording the testimonials. That's how you get all the social proof at your events. Whatever you do, don't be afraid to let them record you present. I know a lot of speakers are afraid to let someone else record their presentation because they're thinking, oh, well, what if they like sell it? And what if they put it out to the world and all that? You want that to happen. You want them to freaking show everybody. You don't want nobody to see your presentation, right? So don't worry about them recording the presentation. Usually when they record it, they always have a great video camera guy. Well, he will at least be better than just having a camera just sitting there doing nothing. So just let them record it, and that's essentially how you're going to record your presentations.